The discussion surrounding backstabbing versus side wiring in electrical connections has been ongoing for many years. While both techniques offer distinct advantages and disadvantages, side wiring is generally recognized as the superior choice in terms of safety and long-term reliability. Backstabbing, by definition, involves inserting the wire directly into the back of the receptacle or switch without creating a loop around a screw terminal. The advantages of this method include faster and easier installation and the fact that it does not require special tools beyond what you would normally use. However, the disadvantages of backstabbing are significant. It is a less secure connection than side wiring. It can potentially damage the wire or the receptacle over time, and importantly, it is not universally approved by all electrical codes. Side wiring, on the other hand, involves looping the wire clockwise around the screw terminal and then securing it firmly with the screw. This method boasts several key advantages. Firstly, it provides a more secure and reliable connection compared to backstabbing. Secondly, it does not damage the wire or receptacle during installation or over time. And thirdly, it is approved by virtually all electrical codes. A primary disadvantage of side wiring is that it can be slower and more difficult to install, and of course, it requires the use of a screwdriver to properly secure the connection. So, which method is better? For the purposes of ensuring safety and promoting long-term reliability, side wiring is the strongly recommended method. It offers a more robust connection, significantly reducing the likelihood of failures, loose connections, and potential hazards. There might be specific instances where backstabbing could be considered, particularly when speed and convenience are paramount. These scenarios might include temporary wiring setups, testing situations, or non-critical applications where safety is not a primary concern. It might also be considered when replacing an existing receptacle or switch that was previously backstabbed. However, it's absolutely essential to remember that backstabbing is not permitted in all electrical codes. Therefore, it's imperative to always consult and adhere to local code requirements before utilizing this method. In conclusion, while backstabbing might present itself as a quicker and seemingly easier way to wire a receptacle or switch, it inherently carries higher risks and is generally less reliable. For permanent electrical installations, opting for side wiring is the unequivocally preferred method to ensure a safe, durable, and code-compliant electrical system. Now, let's delve into a more detailed explanation of why side wiring is the superior method, focusing on the underlying physics and electrical principles. A secure electrical connection is fundamental to the safe and efficient operation of any electrical circuit. The connection point is where the electrical current transitions from the wire to the device, such as a receptacle or switch. If this connection is loose or corroded, it introduces resistance into the circuit. This increased resistance causes several undesirable effects. Firstly, it generates heat. The heat is a direct result of the electrical energy being converted into thermal energy as the current struggles to pass through the resistive connection. This heat can degrade the insulation of the wires and the plastic components of the receptacle or switch, potentially leading to premature failure and increasing the risk of electrical fires. Secondly, a loose connection can cause voltage drops. This means that the voltage available at the device is lower than the voltage supplied by the circuit. This can cause appliances and other electrical equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. Thirdly, intermittent connections can cause flickering lights and other annoying problems. These issues can be difficult to troubleshoot and can be indicative of a more serious underlying problem. Side wiring creates a mechanically robust and electrically sound connection. When the wire is properly looped around the screw terminal in a clockwise direction, tightening the screw compresses the wire against the terminal. This compression creates a large contact area between the wire and the terminal, minimizing resistance and ensuring a reliable electrical path. The clockwise loop is important because as the screw is tightened, it pulls the wire further around the terminal, enhancing the connection. Furthermore, the screw mechanically locks the wire in place, preventing it from loosening over time due to vibration or thermal expansion and contraction. Backstabbing, on the other hand, relies on a spring-loaded contact to hold the wire in place. While this might seem convenient, the spring force is often insufficient to maintain a consistently low resistance connection over the long term. The contact area between the wire and the spring is relatively small, which increases the contact resistance. Additionally, the spring can weaken over time due to repeated stress and thermal cycling, further reducing the contact force and increasing the resistance. Another potential issue with backstabbing is that the sharp edges of the spring contact can damage the wire, especially if the wire is not perfectly straight or if it is repeatedly inserted and removed. This damage can weaken the wire and increase its resistance. The type of wire used also plays a role in the reliability of the connection. Solid core wire is generally preferred for both side wiring and backstabbing because it is less likely to fray or break than stranded wire. However, stranded wire can be used with side wiring if it is properly terminated with a ferrule. A ferrule is a small metal sleeve that is crimped onto the end of the stranded wire to create a solid, uniform contact surface. This prevents individual strands from splaying out and ensures a reliable connection. When using solid core wire with side wiring, it is important to strip the insulation carefully to avoid nicking or scoring the wire. Nicks and scores can weaken the wire and increase its resistance. The insulation should be stripped back just far enough to allow the wire to be looped around the screw terminal without exposing any bare wire beyond the terminal. It is also important to tighten the screw securely, but not so tightly that it damages the wire or the terminal. A torque screwdriver can be used to ensure that the screw is tightened to the correct torque specification. The electrical code provides detailed requirements for wiring methods and materials. It specifies the types of wires and cables that are permitted for different applications, as well as the methods for terminating and splicing wires. It also sets minimum requirements for the ampacity of conductors, the overcurrent protection of circuits, and the grounding of electrical systems. Adhering to the electrical code is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical installations. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a widely adopted standard for electrical installations in the United States. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and best practices. Local jurisdictions may adopt the NEC with or without modifications. It is important to consult the local electrical code before undertaking any electrical work. For example, NEC Section 110.14 C covers electrical connections, requiring that they be made so that the wire doesn't overheat. This section is imperative for side wiring and backstabbing. Another example, NEC Section 314.16 covers the number of conductors allowed in a box. This section is important to note so there's adequate room for the wiring and connections without overcrowding. In addition to the NEC, there are other standards and guidelines that may be relevant to electrical installations. For example, the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, publishes standards for fire safety and electrical safety. These standards provide guidance on topics such as the installation of smoke detectors, the prevention of electrical fires, and the safe use of electricity. Proper grounding is another critical aspect of electrical safety. Grounding provides a low-resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and prevent electrical shock. The grounding system consists of the grounding electrode conductor, the equipment grounding conductor, and the grounded conductor, also known as the neutral conductor. The grounding electrode conductor connects the grounding system to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. The equipment grounding conductor connects the metal enclosures of electrical equipment to the grounding system. The grounded conductor is connected to the neutral point of the electrical system and provides a return path for current under normal operating conditions. It is essential to ensure that the grounding system is properly installed and maintained to provide effective protection against electrical shock and fire hazards. Regular inspection and testing of the grounding system can help to identify and correct any potential problems. When working with electricity, it is always important to follow safe work practices. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses and rubber gloves, and energizing circuits before working on them. A non-contact voltage tester can be used to verify that a circuit is energized. If it is not possible to de-energize a circuit, it is important to use insulated tools and to avoid contact with any exposed conductors. It is also important to be aware of the potential hazards of electricity, such as electric shock, arc flash, and arc blast. Electric shock can occur when a person comes into contact with an energized conductor and a path to ground. Arc flash is a dangerous condition that can occur when a short circuit occurs in the air. Arc blast is an explosion that can occur as a result of an arc flash. These hazards can cause serious injury or death. In summary, side wiring is the preferred method for wiring receptacles and switches because it provides a more secure and reliable connection than backstabbing. Side wiring minimizes resistance, prevents overheating, and reduces the risk of electrical failures. While backstabbing may be faster and more convenient in some situations, it is not as safe or reliable as side wiring and should be avoided for permanent installations. Always follow the electrical code and safe work practices when working with electricity to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. Choosing the right wiring method is a critical decision that impacts the safety and longevity of your electrical system. Understanding the principles behind side wiring and backstabbing empowers you to make informed choices that prioritize safety and reliability. So, for permanent installations, always opt for the proven and dependable method of side wiring. Let's delve deeper into some common misconceptions about backstabbing and side wiring and further clarify why side wiring remains a superior choice for most applications. One common misconception is that backstabbing is just as safe as side wiring if done correctly. While it is true that a properly executed backstab connection can function adequately for a period of time, the inherent design limitations of backstabbing make it more susceptible to failure over the long term. The reliance on a spring-loaded contact, as previously mentioned, is the primary weak point. Springs lose their tension over time, especially when subjected to repeated heating and cooling cycles. This loss of tension reduces the contact force between the wire and the receptacle or switch, leading to increased resistance and potential overheating. Another misconception is that backstabbing is faster and easier than side wiring, so it is a good option for saving time on large projects. While backstabbing may offer a slight time advantage during the initial installation, the increased risk of future failures and the potential need for costly repairs far outweigh any short-term time savings. In the long run, side wiring is the more cost-effective option due to its superior reliability and reduced maintenance requirements. Some people believe that backstabbing is acceptable for low-voltage circuits or for non-critical applications. However, even in low-voltage circuits, a loose or corroded connection can cause problems such as flickering lights, malfunctioning equipment, and increased energy consumption. Moreover, even if an application is deemed non-critical, a failure in the electrical system can still create inconvenience and potential safety hazards. Another point to consider is the quality of the receptacles and switches themselves. Not all electrical devices are created equal. Cheaper devices often have weaker spring contacts in their backstabbing terminals, making them even more prone to failure. It is always advisable to use high-quality receptacles and switches that are designed for side wiring. When side wiring, it is crucial to ensure that the wire is properly sized for the circuit. The electrical code specifies the minimum wire gauge that is permitted for different amperage ratings. Using undersized wire can cause the wire to overheat, which can damage the insulation and create a fire hazard. It is also important to use the correct type of wire for the application. For example, NM cable, also known as Romex, is commonly used for residential wiring. However, it is not permitted for use in wet locations or underground. UF cable is specifically designed for these applications. When making connections, it is important to use the correct tools and techniques. Wire strippers should be used to remove the insulation from the wires without nicking or scoring the conductors. A torque screwdriver should be used to tighten the screws and the terminals to the correct torque specification. Wire connectors, such as wire nuts, should be used to splice wires together. Wire connectors should be properly sized for the number and gauge of wires being spliced. They should be twisted on tightly and taped to prevent them from coming loose. Proper box fill is also an important consideration. The electrical code specifies the maximum number of wires and devices that are permitted in an electrical box. Overfilling a box can create stress on wires and connections, which can lead to failures. It can also make it difficult to properly install and maintain the wiring. When working on electrical projects, it is always a good idea to consult with a qualified electrician. An electrician can help you to choose the right materials and methods for your project and can ensure that the work is done safely and in accordance with the electrical code. Attempting electrical work without proper knowledge and experience can be dangerous and can lead to serious injury or property damage. In addition to the technical aspects of wiring, it is also important to consider the aesthetic aspect. Wires should be neatly routed and secured to prevent them from dangling or getting in the way. Electrical boxes should be mounted flush with the wall or ceiling. Cover plates should be installed to protect the wiring and to provide a finished look. Taking the time to do the job right will not only improve the safety and reliability of your electrical system, but it will also enhance the appearance of your home. Let's take a moment to address some specific scenarios where backstabbing might seem tempting, but should still be avoided in favor of side wiring. Imagine you are replacing a receptacle in an older home where the existing wiring is short and stiff. Backstabbing might seem like the easier option because it requires less manipulation of the wires. However, even in this situation, side wiring is still the better choice. You may need to use a wire extension or a deeper electrical box to provide more room for the wires, but the added effort will be worth it in the long run. Another scenario is when you are working in a tight space where it is difficult to maneuver a screwdriver. Again, backstabbing might seem like the more convenient option. However, there are specialized screwdrivers, such as stubby screwdrivers or offset screwdrivers, that can be used to access tight spaces. It is also possible to pre-wire the receptacle or switch outside of the box and then carefully insert it into the box. Ultimately, there are very few situations where the benefits of backstabbing outweigh the risks. Side wiring is the preferred method for wiring receptacles and switches in almost all cases. It is the safer, more reliable, and more durable option. By taking the time to learn the proper techniques for side wiring, you can ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable for many years to come. And finally, let's recap the key takeaways regarding backstabbing versus side wiring. Side wiring creates a more secure connection, reducing the risk of loose connections and overheating. It minimizes damage to the wire and receptacle, extending the lifespan of the electrical system. Side wiring adheres to all electrical codes, ensuring compliance and safety. While backstabbing may seem faster, the long-term reliability and safety benefits of side wiring make it a clear winner. Therefore, always choose side wiring for permanent electrical installations. By making this simple choice, you can protect your home and family from electrical hazards and enjoy a safe and reliable electrical system for years to come.